So I knew there was some crazy shit going on with Adobe, and let me just be transparent. I do use Adobe. I used to use Premiere Pro, but now I've been using uh since I kind of stepped back from making crazier YouTube videos, I just use Premiere Elements because you don't have to pay the monthly fee. And I know you could torrent it and all that stuff, but it's just I don't trust anything on the internet. I too worried about viruses and you know, everybody's like, "Oh, it's a clean download." It's is it though? Because shit's pretty crazy these days, and it's really hard to know what's safe and what's not. But either way, I I didn't mind paying the fee if if I was going to use it, it wasn't as bad. But I'll probably use Premiere Pro when I get if I when I get bigger, when the channel gets bigger, and I'll go back to Premiere Pro. But for the meantime, I'm just going to use Premiere Elements, which is fine. But the problem I've always had with Adobe is obviously they changed. It used to be you would just buy their suite and you had their suite and that's what you had, and you only had to rebuy it every whatever 5, 10 years, whatever it was. It was $1,000 or something, but you had to rebuy it every 10 years, and that's pretty much what you did. But now everything's a fucking subscription model, so it's pain in the ass, and that's why I went away from it because I'm like, if I'm not getting paid to do YouTube yet, there's no point in paying this subscription. I'm literally losing money, especially if I'm not using all the like Adobe Premiere is $90. It's fine. It works for what I need to do, the simple editing. But if I got bigger and I want to do bigger projects, I'd want to use the tools in Premiere Pro. But either way, why are we talking about this? The reason I'm talking about it is because people are freaking out about the licensing thing. It was about basically the stuff that you create Adobe has a license to. It says right here, I learned this from Pirate Software actually, but it's under 4.2 of their agreement. It says licenses to your content solely for the purpose of operating or approving the services or software. You grant us non-exclusive, worldwide, royalty-free, sub-licensable license to use, reproduce, publicly display, distribute, modify, create derivative works based on, publicly perform, and translate the content for. Or translate the content, and it goes, for example. But that's a load of crap. That's where you need the Shane Gillis meme. I know you youngsters are having fun. That's a load of crap. But basically, I mean, as far as I can read it, I don't speak legalese very well, but basically, it's giving Adobe permission. Anything you create on their platform, you're giving them permission to use it and have it for their own, for their own. Basically, they can use it. They can do whatever they want with it. And a lot of people are thinking they're training their AI. They're training their AI on it, which they probably are, but they don't say they are explicitly in these terms of service. They don't say that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were. But either way, fuck Adobe and fuck subscription models. I just hate that shit. Like, it's bad enough you're nickel and diming every person, because let's be honest, YouTuber is like the most popular job in the world. Everybody wants that shit. Everyone wants to Twitch stream and do content creation. So, and Adobe has good architecture to use, so they know they've got everybody butted balls, which fucking sucks. But whatever. Either way, I just want to say that's bullshit that they're using. They have a sub license to your content they use. If you make it if you make it with their software, they basically own you. So I don't know, fucking stupid. Whatever. Let's get into this thing. Welcome everybody back to Knowledge to Sport, episode number 120. We're going in hard here. Oy, oy, oy. It's been a big week. Obviously, I missed last week, but shit happens. What can I say? I really and there's not even an excuse for last week. I just wasn't feeling it, honestly. I was feeling a little bit sick, and I just wasn't feeling the inspiration to do a podcast that week. I just really couldn't bring myself to it. So I'd rather just not do it if I'm feeling that way. I'd rather just come back stronger. And stronger, we will come back because this week is absolutely insane with news. Obviously, there's the Dr. Disrespect shit that's going on. We'll get to that. The presidential debates are going on now. It's unreal. But I figure we'll start with some of the some of the smaller little tidbits of news. But obviously, you guys, if you've been anywhere near the internet lately, in the last week, I'd say you know who the Hawk Tuah girl is. Obviously, she went fucking viral like crazy, and I gotta admit, I'm even getting a little annoyed by it by now. I mean, she is right though. You do got to give a Hawk Tuah and spin on that thing. Does help, but you know, it's it's funny, right? Because there's always moral dilemmas for this shit. Because nobody chooses to go viral necessarily. And I think she was like 24 years old or something like that. Like she was not very old at all. And she was just in one of those random fucking influencer interviews on the street and she's probably drinking. Like they look like they were partying, having a good time on a vacation of some kind. So it's you're gonna say wild shit, especially when there's a camera there. But either way, she went super ultra viral and it's going insane. And apparently, she got fired from her job. She works at a preschool, I guess. And yeah, I guess all the kids at the preschool were like mimicking her, like the Hawk 2 thing and spitting on each other. And it was a real mess. And, it's just one of those weird things, right? Do you guys think, do you guys think did she deserve to be fired? Like, it's not, I don't know, in my head, it's not really her fault that she went viral because you can't really choose to go viral. It just kind of happens. And, was she being wild? Sure, but that's the thing. She's young, right? So she's stupid. And she's just doing shit. She's on vacation, having a good time. You don't expect this stuff to happen. So I don't think it was like a planned thing, right? It's just, she just happened to be in the wrong place, right, wrong time. But we all know this is gonna. It doesn't really matter because this is all gonna pan out well for her, right? Yeah, she lost her job, but she's now gonna be known as the Hawk Tuah girl, so she'll be fucking making millions on the internet just for being. It's kind of funny, right? Because back in the day, there was people that were like in memes, like the Irma Gerd lady and the Bad Luck Brian, of course, famously. Those people were just like pictures, and they became memes, but they never made money off it, right? I think later on they did a couple little interviews, whatever, little shit like that. But they were relatively underground still, and they didn't really get paid for it. But nowadays, it's like if you become a fucking meme, you're now a celebrity essentially, like the Chick-fil-A chick. I was like, what do I call it? The Chick-fil-A chick, I guess. Like she literally just and the stupid thing about that one is that it was planned. It was actually like her friend recording her, and so she just decided to do a crazy face that she's able to make. And but yeah, either way, she went ultra viral, right? And now she's like an influencer on the internet. It's like Jesus Christ, it's fucking. It doesn't really make sense to me. So but these, I don't feel bad for this lady because she will get famous and she'll have her glory for a couple of years and people will follow her and she'll make her millions. It'll be fine for her. But it's just one of those things that it is kind of weird to look at in retrospect how old time meme people they didn't really get the same treatment. They just kind of like it's like, oh, it's embarrassing. You're in a meme forever. Sorry. Like, to a degree that's gotta be a little embarrassing in a way. Like Bad Luck Brian, you're associated with that forever. But like, if you had millions of dollars to go with it, at least you could cry into your Ferrari or something. You know what I mean? But modern people just like they just get uber famous off of stupid shit that doesn't make sense. And people are going around being like, "Oh, her father must be devastated." And I honestly, I kind of do feel bad being a father myself. If it was my daughter in that video and she's known as like spitting on dicks, is her like that's her claim to fame? Yeah, I'd be pretty disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. So I do have that. I do have that. I guess perspective you can say. When you're younger, you don't really think about kids and think about your kids and think about every person that becomes viral is a person that's somebody's kid, right? So it probably doesn't feel great for them, you know? Maybe they're happy that oh, good, you're making money, but the thing is, I was telling people this last week, like, no amount of money has bought an ounce of respect. No amount of money has bought a minute of time, and no amount of money has ever bought, yeah, like basically respect people's opinion of you. Like, it's like, yeah, you could be a millionaire, but if everybody fucking hates you, you know, is it really worth it? So, or if everybody thinks you're a fucking whore or whatnot. So, I don't know. I think she was just having fun. She became a meme, whatever. She lost her job, and that's unfortunate. But she, like I said, she's gonna bounce back. You'll see. Just watch. Next couple of weeks, she'll be on fucking podcasts, and they'll be like, "What were you doing?" Oh, I'm just walking down the street, and this guy asked me for an interview, and I said, "Hawk Tuah," and now I'm on Logan Paul's podcast. It just doesn't make sense. It's kind of weird, but either way, we wish her the best. I'm sure she'll be fine. Don't cry over it. The next thing, I'm sure you guys know, a little bit of Elden Ring, huh? Some gaming, some more. We got lots of gaming going on, but Elden Ring, I love it. I love Elden Ring. I talked about it when it came out. It was so good. There's now an expansion coming, or it's come out now. It's called Shadow of the Erd Tree. It's $50, which is kind of insane. That's a lot of fucking money for an expansion, but supposedly it's quite hefty. It's quite large. So, I mean, that remains to be seen. I just don't really have the money for it right now, so I got other shit going on. So I'm gonna hopefully in the near future I'll be able to jump into it. But there's a bigger problem than the money of it that's going on with people. The bigger problem is that apparently it's too hard. It's very fucking hard. So lots of people are getting up in arms over the internet about it. And ironically, it's some of the people are like Asmongold, which is, obviously very famous streamer. And there's people like Critical, like Moist, Charlie, who have been like, they've been kind of supporting it. Actually, he said like, oh yeah, it's hard, but it's not, you get both types, right? Like Charlie's defending it, saying it's hard, but they put tools there because apparently there's collectibles you can collect, like little, I can't remember what they are, but they're little collectibles in the game, kind of like the smithing stones they had before, but it just powers you up in the DLC specifically. So if you find you get stuck on a boss, you just gotta go farm those, find them in the world, whatever they are. I don't know what the collectibles are. I don't really want to look it up either because I don't want to really spoil it for myself. I want to kind of experience it myself when I play it. But it's just one of those things where people are really getting pissy over this DLC, and I find it just a tad bit ironic because a lot of these fuckers were the same people that were telling people when Elden Ring came out to get good. Because people, when the initial release came in, you had a lot of new players like me. Again, if you want a quick recap of my fucking, my backstory for Souls games, I played the original Dark Souls for about 25 minutes and I did not like it. I hated it when it came out. So I just quit and I thought it was a terrible game. But I just didn't understand the mechanics at the time. Honestly, I just didn't give it enough of a chance. But whatever, that's my stance. So I was essentially a new person coming into Souls game, and Elden Ring was, open world. It looked interesting. So yeah, it was pretty fucking hard. And a lot of people, I got through it. I did. But a lot of the bosses were unbelievably hard. So I used shit like summons and all, because they put tools in the game to help you, like summons, like the mimic tier, just extra upgrades. There are cheese strategies, of course, but they put extra tools into the game to help you. But there was a bunch of purists at the time saying, "Oh, you use summons? You're a pussy, fucking loser. Can't beat the game without summon." Like, yeah, well, I'm trying to have fun, not break my keyboard. So, well, controller. I played it on controller on PC because a game like that, there's no fucking way I'd be able to play that on a keyboard and mouse. Fuck me. But either way, it's just a little bit funny to me that people are getting up in arms about the difficulty when a lot of these fucking people are just the same people that got mad at people for taking the easy route, or they got mad at people for saying it was too hard originally, like, oh, get good, scrub. It's like, you guys are fucking hypocrites, and it's so stupid to see these people just getting losing their shit on stream. It's like, and the thing is, a lot of these people, they're doing challenge runs and stuff like that, like fists only, because there's apparently a new monk class. Well, I call it monk, but it's, hand-to-hand combat type shit, and they're trying to do that, and no summons and none of the stones. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be hard. The DLC was designed to challenge people who beat the original game. What do you think it was gonna be, a fucking cakewalk? Like, Miyazaki's a goddamn sadist. He wants to fuck with you. But I I just think a lot of these people they're being hypocrites, and they're being babies, and they just don't want to admit that they are in over their head. Like, they don't want to just use the summon. Like, I had a lot of problem. Like, I had a lot of problem with a few bosses in Elden Ring, and I didn't know about summons, because I knew about summons. I had been collecting them, but I didn't really know how they worked, because I just was new to the game. So I went through like 3/4 of the fucking game without a summon, even though I had like some kick-ass summons, like the I can't remember the fuck. It's been so long. I can't remember their names, but there's like the bow chick. That's crazy. There's obviously the mimic tier I had, which I believe, if I remember correctly, the mimic tier just mimics your character. It makes essentially a copy of your character. And then there's so many of them. There was a knight guy I remember who's super strong. But I remember like getting so frustrated on some of these bosses, like Godfrey, the Elden Lord, and like just want to kill myself. I couldn't believe it. And then I would use a summon. I'm like, oh my god, it's so much easier, because it just adds another person that the the boss can focus aggro on, so you can kind of chill out a little bit and not be dodging for your life. But ultimately, I did love the game, and I'm gonna play Shadow of the Erdtree. I don't know when. I'll probably stream it, because honestly, I didn't stream the original Elden Ring because I didn't feel comfortable, because I figured it would just be embarrassing to watch, to be honest. Because I figured it'd just be people and then, don't get me wrong, Shadow of the Erdtree is probably gonna be embarrassing to stream too, but at least I know what the fuck I'm doing to a degree. But man, like, oh, I can't even the amount of time that it took me just to get through like Stormvale Castle was embarrassing, because I didn't know how the game worked. Like, I didn't know all these special mechanics and these little, like, what certain weapons did, and like the smithing stones and shit like that. Like, I was fucking lost. And then once I kind of figured out the game and it clicked, I'm like, oh, this is how you upgrade shit. This is how you get better. These are the best creatures to kill for XP farms, stuff like that. But either way, I'm gonna be playing it. For these people that are complaining, stop being fucking babies, all right? Get over yourselves. And if you can't beat it with just a weapon, there's no fucking. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Any of you guys listening, if you're worried about playing that game, don't 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 be embarrassed by using summons and shit like that. It is in the game. It is an intended mechanic. It's okay. All right. Same with people who use. I went with the samurai my first time, and I'll probably play as a samurai. Like, I'll just use my samurai for the DLC as well. But like, I went as a melee character, but I heard magic's easier. I don't know. I kind of want to do a magic playthrough sometime. But like, using magic, people say that's cheap too. It's in the fucking game. All right. If something is in the game, it is there to use. Stop being a fucking. I hate these. Sorry, I said I was off this topic, but I'm just having a little rant here. I'm just tired of gatekeeping in video games. It's fucking horrible, and it needs to stop. People need to stop gatekeeping every goddamn video game. I watched a video recently. Actually, this is sorry, we're going on a tangent here, but I watched a video of a guy. I can't remember who it was on YouTube, but the video was called "I Miss When WoW Was a Game." Was just a game rather, and I thought it was interesting, because I'm like, what the fuck does he mean? But I kind of knew what he meant, but I was like, I wonder where he's going with this. But I clicked on it, and he talked about how in Vanilla WoW it was just a game, right? And I'm talking about World of Warcraft for people who don't know. But he talked about how it was just a game when he was a kid, and it was just about exploring the world and having a good time, and not everything, how not everything needed to be min maxed and shit like that. And he just had fun in the world with his own characters at his own pace, and I agree with that 100%. That's exactly how I feel about every game. You should just play it the way you want to play it, have fun. I don't care what the fucking meta is. I don't care what, I don't care what people think they need to do. Just when you play a game, you're supposed to be having fun. All right? Now, I understand. I'm one of those psychopaths sometimes, like when I play Pal World with my brother, or when we're playing Drug Dealer Simulator 2 right now. I get obsessive about making things efficient in a hideout and stuff like that, like making the output of resources the most efficient. I get obsessive about that for sure, and that is technically would be the meta because it's the most efficient. But that's what's fun for me in that game. I think that's fun. If somebody else wants to build a base their own way and not make it efficient, whatever. Let people play games the way they want to play, okay? And don't gatekeep games saying that, oh, this is a hard game, so the only way to play it is the hard way, like me. Like, again, Critical did a fucking, I think he did I didn't watch it because I don't want to get spoiled, but he did a Shadow of the Erdtree playthrough, and he did it with all just melee, like the Monk classic hand in hand, and he beat it. Like that's fun to him though. That's challenging as hell, but it's fun to him. So let whatever. When I play that, I guarantee I'm gonna be using summons. I'm gonna be fucking using summons in that DLC because I know I'm gonna get frustrated. But it makes the game fun and easier for me, and that's all right. So whatever. I swear, we're done. We're moving on from that now. Uh Crazy thing going on in America right now, though. Obviously, the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, which by Dragon Ball Z I mean the American presidential debates going on. It's absolutely insane. I don't want to linger on this too long because it's new, and I didn't watch the debates because I have a life and kids. I Notice how I said life, not wife. Sorry, that's just funny because I just thought about that because normally people say I have a wife and kids, but I said I have a life and kids. There's a joke there somewhere. I'll figure it out. But I got better shit to do than watch two old fucks argue when we know that nobody has anybody's best interest at hand. But either way, the point is, I've talked about this before. It's pretty obvious they're out to get Trump. They don't want him in. That's obvious to me. So obviously they're trying to support Biden. And I've seen a lot of celebrities showing their support like they did in 2016. Like, oh God, I've talked about this. I feel like I talked about this last week, but oh, when it was all the celebrities making that video, like Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. talking about, oh, you have a chance to stand up against evil. Like, oh God, that just cringes me out to the max when a bunch of Hollywood fucks are trying to tell the general population how to vote just because they're scared of Donald Trump. Like, get your fucking head on straight, you fucking losers. God. It cringes me out because Hollywood is so obviously left wing, and they know that it'll sway people's opinion. They're like, "Oh, Iron Man said to vote this way, so I'm gonna vote this way." It's like, okay, well, Iron Man isn't Iron Man. Iron Man is a fucking actor, so you know he gets paid to act. And he gets paid substantially to act. And don't get me wrong, I love RDJ, huge fan of his movies. But at the end of the day, these people are not your friends. They are actors, and they get paid a lot of money. So they do not have the same. They don't have the same problems we do. Okay, let's just put it that way. They don't have the same problems we do. Money is not an issue for them. Job security is not a problem for them. Well, technically it is, but it doesn't fucking matter because they're set for life no matter what they do. So, it's just they don't have the same problems as an average person. So when you hear them fucking screaming that they care about you, like, just get the reality check. And yes, again, like I said, Trump's a millionaire. He doesn't have the same problems as us either. But I'm saying that don't go based off what celebrities are telling you. Go based on what you think. You know? Do you want a functioning economy with what Trump was doing? He did it pretty good by the American people to keep things in America, keep production in America, keep jobs alive, stuff like that. It was good. You know, I didn't mind that. You know, was there some shady backroom deals? I'm sure. I'm sure. I just don't pay enough attention to care or know about any of those things. But when you look at Joe Biden, it's very clear there's an agenda there because he's so very clearly compromised. It's unbelievable. He is just fucked. But there's still just, everybody's like, no, he's good. He's good to go. But with these debates last night, he fucked up hard. He was talking about something with Trump, and he's like, like he trailed off so hard and just started stuttering like a fucking buffoon. And I just thought, like, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, like, it's not about what side you're on. Do you want this fucking senile old motherfucker running your country? Okay? Everybody always talks. Do you want a bigot like Trump with his head on the nuclear button? It's like, yeah, well, do you want somebody who doesn't even know what the fucking button is? So it's just, but even like I was listening to CBC today, they're very liberal. And even they were talking, I mean, they're talking shit about Trump, of course. That's their fucking bread and butter. But even they were talking about how, like, they couldn't stand by Biden. They're like, he's very obviously compromised. Like, we're in trouble here. Like, you guys are just figuring this out? Like, for fuck's sakes, he's been fucked for, like, years now. Oh, it just drives me insane. Like, I don't give a fuck about what you want. If you guys want another Democrat, fine. But find somebody who can do the job. I don't care. I don't live in America. You know, I'm in Canada. We have a synonymous relationship though. Like what affects each other what affects Canada affects America and vice versa. We'll put it that way. So I do care to a degree, right? But ultimately, I don't have a voter's right there. I don't have anything like that. But I'm telling you guys, you got to get somebody who can fucking stand. You got to get somebody who's actually going to be able to do shit. Like, you can't have a guy falling down. That's your strongest guy? Like, to me, usually it's like the strongest leader of your tribe, right? That's who the president should be, you know? The alpha, right? And not that it has for a lot of years, but like, you know, that's typically what you think. But when people are looking at America, it's like a stumbling, bumbling old man that should just be in his twilight years, just enjoying himself with a Mai Tai on a fucking beach somewhere. It's embarrassing. So I don't care if you want to vote blue, go ahead. But, like, you got to get somebody else in that seat. It's just embarrassing. But either way, I don't want to linger on that because we got the biggest topic of all coming up. Obviously, cliff notes from that was, if you watch those debates, it's really embarrassing. Poor Joe's barely hanging on by a thread up there, and it's rough. I think they're gonna replace him because even the Democratic people, like I said, CBC were even like, he is in trouble. So it's yeah, it's sad. But either way, the biggest topic that we're going to discuss this time, Dr. Disrespect. Now, this is a big thing. And it's convoluted and it's complicated, and I'm not quite sure where I stand on it right now because I have mixed emotions over it. We'll put it that way. But we will get to that. Don't worry. But basically, for those of you who don't know, Dr. Disrespect, huge streamer. Huge. He's a guy that used to work at Activision, I believe, and he was a map creator for Call of Duty. And then he became a streamer. And basically, he puts on a persona called Dr. Disrespect. He puts on a wig and glasses and a flak jacket of some kind. I don't know. and let me just be forward here before I go too much further. I never watched Doctor Disrespect. I have watched clips of him, and I've watched a couple things with my friends because they're big fans of him. I just don't, in general, watch Twitch streamers because I'm really just too busy with my own shit. Honestly, I don't mind watching a Twitch stream once in a while. Usually, I watch speedrunners if I have time, or I'll catch the VODs. But honestly, I just don't have time to watch most streamers. So, but either way, that's the Cliff Notes of Doc. He's a Call of Duty streamer. That was his biggest claim to fame. He's recently streaming Elden Ring. And so in 2017, I think it was 2017, he abruptly got banned from Twitch, which was really weird. There was a lot of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements signed, so nobody knew what happened. And something else happened in 2020, I believe. But again, still, it was all hush hush because they're all NDAs, so you can't speak about it. No, neither party can, or they face legal. Oh, they face legal recourse. So, but it just came out this month here. Oh, excuse me, Jesus. That what happened was Doc was supposedly sending inappropriate messages to a minor on the Twitch Whispers app, which is I didn't even know what this was, to be honest, but apparently it was a built-in messenger on Twitch, which I have seen it, I think, but I didn't know it was called Twitch Whispers. But either way, it's yeah, it's a messaging app. Apparently he was sending some dicey messages to a girl, but I have it here that basically there's allegations from former Twitch staff about him messaging a minor and stuff like that was going on. So basically, hold on. I got the thing here. Okay. So yeah, Doctor Disrespect he released this a few days ago. It was a full statement about the Twitch ban originally. And he says, "Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everybody in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. That is his game studio that he made, by the way. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, because they parted ways. And we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Everybody has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the side of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have been brought against me. Now, with a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should never happen. It should never have happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with those exaggerations. Get get the fuck out of here with that shit. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020, because the messages were in 2017 and then he got banned in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the fucking best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. But I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made the mistakes all these years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. So, that was so yeah, that was the lengthy statement by Dr. Disrespect. And again, I don't the thing is, like he said, there is no pictures. So there's no like proof of wrongdoing that we've seen like that. I have seen a few screenshots been leaked lately that were messages, and again, it doesn't look good. But the thing is, he did admit he's wrong. He admitted he's wrong. He admitted he fucked up, but he moved on with his life, and it hasn't happened since. And to me, I think it's a little disingenuous for people to call him a pedophile. Like, yes, he would have been like, it would have been 7 years ago, so he would have been like, I think he's like 33, so he would have been like 20 or 40. He would have been like 35, something like that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse it, right? Obviously, especially when you're in the public square, if a girl's under 18, you shouldn't be messaging her at all, no matter what. That is the golden rule. You just shouldn't do that. Obviously, he had a moment of weakness, and I think it's because he got famous, right? Like, these guys, that's what happens. They get a big ego. They get, they have all these fans coming after them, all these girls coming after them, and they slip up because they, like, just like any men, they enjoy the fucking, they enjoy the attention, because they do. Even girls will, famous girls, they'll appreciate the attention from all the guys or whoever they're after, right? Like, people like attention. And so I think that's what happened. He had a moment of weakness and he just fucked up. But then he owned his shit. He owned up to it. I mean, which is good. But again, I can't support any of this because I don't think it's right. I don't think he was in the right. Let me say that. Let me be clear. He wasn't in the right. He wasn't. But he wasn't fucking kidnapping children, all right? Let's be real, guys. It's a 17-year-old. She knows what's going on. She's fucking cognitive. She's all there. She knew what she was doing. I think she was like a TwitchCon person. Like, she knew Doc was a big celeb. She probably hit him up and like, whatever. Does that excuse what he did? No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. But let's be real here. I just think it's a stretch. I think that's me personally. You guys can hate on my decision. You guys can let me know what you feel. I don't care. I think it's a stretch personally to call him a pedophile over having messaging with one 17-year-old. Like, I don't know. To me, if it was a 13-year-old and he was sending dick pics and shit, yeah, that's a little over the line. But like, it's a 17-year-old that he just had a conversation with and it got sexual, sure, whatever. But like, I don't know. Again, it's that gray area of what do you find acceptable, right? On one hand, again, it's a 17-year-old. She's obviously cognitive. She's, like, I don't think he was grooming her. I'll just say it. I don't think he was grooming her or doing anything like that. I don't think Dr. Disrespect is a predator or a pedophile. I'm just going to say that. Now, having said that, should he have known better? Well, yeah. He had a wife and kids, for fuck's sakes. Like, he should have known better. But again, I think he just had a moment of weakness and he fucked up. That's what happened. He fucked up. He did. He had a moment of weakness and he wasn't used to the fame, and that's what happened. Now, again, for the repercussions, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's repercussions, obviously, and his wife stayed with him through it all. She had a problem, but I think people's reaction to this is a little insane. Like, yeah, maybe take a hiatus and then let the guy come back, but I think they're just. It almost seems to me like they were out like somebody was out to get him. Like I said, unless there's some really damning evidence that we haven't seen yet or I haven't seen yet, which maybe it'll come out next year or whatever, next few months. Like you just send wiener picture after wiener picture, like something crazy like that. Then maybe he deserves it. But like from what we've seen right now, I don't think he deserves the fucking cancellation that he's getting. Like totally gone. From what I've seen lately, he's lost his YouTube channel now. His YouTube channel is demonetized. He lost all of his sponsors. Midnight Society, the game studio that he's with, they cut ties with him. He's lost everything. But again, I don't blame them, because why would you want to be associated with a person that people are calling a pedophile? I don't think anybody would want to be around that. But the thing is, I think that's a strong accusation. I just do. So, again, do I think it was a stupid mistake? Yes. I think it was very stupid of him to do it. Because even me, everybody else, you all know, you don't even bother having a conversation with anybody over the legal age, under the legal age, rather, because it's just a mess. They could be the most innocent text messages ever, but it just looks bad for you. It's stupid, right? So I just think for him, though, yeah, he's just had a moment of weakness because he was recently famous and he just wasn't used to it. Wasn't used to all the people coming after him. So either way, like all of his friends, Tim Tatman is the guy that he games with Doc like all the time. He was he's probably the most respectful about it on Twitter and stuff. He said, "I've known Doc for a while now. We have played games for years. Seeing everything that is spiraling right now is a very difficult thing for me personally." Yeah, he said, "My bottom line is, I think if what he is saying, where he said that he was messaging a minor, which would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate. If he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that." So exactly, that makes sense, right? It makes sense that he wouldn't support that, and nobody should support that. But again, I don't think he should be totally fucking irredeemable. From what we've seen right now, I don't think so. And Nick Merckx was saying like, Nick Merckx was another person that streamed with him quite often. He said, "I read through Doc's tweet," said Merckx in a recent Twitter video, and in that tweet, he basically confirms that he was texting an underage girl and it went weird sometimes. Look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that is inexcusable. It's unacceptable. There's no excuse for something like that. I can't support it. I can't defend it. The boys are torn up over it too. We played a lot of games with the guy. And I saw another video where Nick Merckx said, "I barely even knew the guy outside of a wig." And which I think is very fucking disingenuous too. Like I said, I feel like these guys were fucking like somebody was out to get him, because like Nick Merckx and stuff, like Tim the Tatman saved him from his controversy last year. He had a big controversy over his skin getting removed from Call of Duty, and the guys defended him, but all of a sudden, like, Doc has a controversy, and Nick Merck's like, I don't even know the guy. Don't even know him. Been riding his fucking clout trail for 2 years, but I don't know the guy. Not even a little bit. Like, I think it's stupid. I think a lot of these guys were just jealous of his success, and they were kind of out to get him, honestly. So, I don't know. I think it's fucking stupid. Again, bottom line of this thing, I'm going to end the podcast here. I don't. Again, it's such a gray area case, right? Because either way you look at it, the doc is wrong. What he did was wrong. He shouldn't have been texting any minors at all. Shouldn't have done that. But having said that, from what we've seen so far, I think calling him a pedophile and a predator is that's a serious accusation. That's very fucking serious. So I think that's a way too much of a stretch. And again, I don't have any skin in this game because I don't watch any of these guys. Tim Tatman, Dr. Disrespect, Nick Merckx. I know of them. Obviously, they're huge. But I don't watch any of them regularly. So, if Doc goes away tomorrow, it's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect my life. But I believe in justice, and I believe in people being treated fairly. And obviously, there should be repercussions for this because he did something wrong. But do I think he's just this irredeemable monster now? I don't see evidence for that. Not yet. So, again, if evidence comes out about this and he truly is just a fucking weirdo and he was sending his dick pics to girls and all kinds of other weird shit, sure, yeah, throw the book at him. But from what we've seen right now, I don't know. I don't see it being irredeemable. So either way, I'm gonna stop rambling on about this. We got an extra long podcast today. That was nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just this is a rough one. So, let me know what you guys think about the doc situation in the comments. I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on it. I think it's just such a nuanced case because they basically just destroyed this man's career. And to me, I haven't seen the crime that fits the punishment. Honestly, I just think they're going a little bit too insane on him. So either way, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys as always for watching. I appreciate it. And remember, links to all social media are in the description below. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.